Well, in honor of all the fantastic music that's been coming out in the past month and is still coming out, there's no better feeling than being inspired. And I'm going to go over what inspires me. Simply because this is one of my favorite parts about a creative process and living. Honestly, it's genuinely, it feels like it's the highest form of motivation and honestly happiness, at least in my opinion, is being inspired and being able to inspire other people and feeling inspired from artists and whoever that really inspires you. Just a little backstory. Yesterday, and for a while now, I've been freestyle rapping, which, okay, I understand what you're saying. For some reason, when you say freestyle rapping, people say, like, people automatically associate that with just, like, shitty bars and, gay raps, which, yeah, that makes sense, of course. No, people usually do it as a joke, but I've been freestyle rapping, and I don't really practice, but I just like to go on a beat and just kind of flow. And I've gotten pretty good at it, better than the average person, not better than the average freestyler, but definitely better than the average person. And yesterday, I was actually able to inspire one of my friends to do it, which I thought was really cool. And I'm not trying to toot my own horn. I thought it was a really cool moment. And I guess, I didn't plan on talking about that for today's video, which is the second video of the day, I guess. But yeah, it was really cool because he was like, nah, I was just started freestyling. I threw in a beat and I just started freestyling. And he didn't even know. He was like, dude, I can't do it. I can't do it. And I was like, yes, you can. Yes, you can, dude. And he did. He ended it. We were freestyling for like hours, like just him and I. It was straight fun. And honestly, like that's what I love to see. I love to be inspired, and I love to inspire other people as well. And I hope that one day I can do that. That is not even kidding. That is my favorite thing in the world is inspiration. The feeling I get from inspiring somebody else, and the feeling that I also get from being inspired is second to none. It's probably the best feeling. No drug can match that at all. But anyways, I'm just gonna get into it because nobody has a fucking attention span. If people were even to watch this, but yeah, I'm gonna talk about my inspirations today because it's my favorite thing in the world, as I mentioned for the past fucking 3 minutes. And I think a big reason why I'm making this is not just because of that story, but it's also because there's a lot of music that's been coming out by my favorite artists recently, such as, which I'm getting into now, Brent Faiyaz recently released Icon, and that album was really good. I listened to it and I really liked it. It was poppy, and it had almost like, I don't even know. I'm not a music critic. I don't really know how to describe music. I don't really like to. I kind of just like to feel it. And the way I felt was I felt it wasn't like disco, but it was poppy. It was smooth, but it was also something you could dance to at the same time. I don't know. I thought it was really good. I thought it was a little bit something different. Hearing that from Brent Faiyaz, which is really cool, and he's a big inspiration of mine. I wouldn't say a huge one, but I would say I definitely like his music, and I like his style, and I like what he does. And it was really cool to see him on this album Icon because, at least in my head, I don't really see Brent Faiyaz as somebody who makes necessarily like is known for album building, but I thought this one was really good. So, Baby Keem is also dropping February 20th. Today is February 17th, so he's another big inspiration of mine as well. I love Baby Keem. If I had to go through my top musicians, top 3, he's definitely up there, which is interesting. A very interesting pick for Baby Keem to be an inspiration, somebody's favorite musician, because he's so young and his ceiling is so high, and he has so much potential in order to grow his career and just become a musician. He has so much more to do, which, people get inspired by. You can get inspired by anything, but I guess some people might think that's odd, especially because it's more of like a raw talent thing rather than somebody who's established. So yeah, that's really cool. I'm excited to hear that. Baby Keem inspires me because he's weird as fuck, dude. I don't know if you listen to his music, but it's super weird, and he's extremely versatile at the same time. But I really like Die For My Bitch. That's definitely on my top 10 favorite albums of all time. But he also has great music videos, and Yeah, BB King is easily one of my favorites. Now going off that, the Fall Off just released, and this is the biggest one. This is the biggest one for somebody like me. The one that everybody thinks, not everybody, either half the people absolutely fucking love and are diehard fans, or other people think he's just fucking boring and they hate him. J. Cole, my biggest inspiration. And this video is going to be super long, and I don't even give a fuck if anybody watches this, but I just got to get this off my chest. J. Cole is my biggest inspiration. And I know I've just been talking about musicians, but I'm going to go into other artists, filmmakers and YouTubers and, whatever. But, yeah, J. Cole's my biggest inspiration. And I think that what I appreciate about him the most is that he's, talk about relatable. People talk about relatable. And I know that there's definitely something I think about all the time is the inauthentic authenticity that a lot of artists and people, businesses, whatever, people use in order to make money. Something like if you see J. Cole's trunk sale, like that's something that it's like, all right, you can kind of see how that could be something where it's like he's trying to come off as authentic. But to me, it just seems like a guy who makes music and is still a normal person and doesn't do that much to for his image. Like, I mean, the reason why I think this and kind of my argument about this and the reason why I feel so greatly about his music and his persona as a celebrity, as an artist, as a person. And I don't even know the guy. Obviously, I don't fucking know the guy. But he backs out of the beef. He could have continued. There's just so many different reasons, and I can see why somebody would think it'd be fake. But to me, I just see like a normal guy who's really good at making music, and his music is very good. That was my first introduction to rap, and I never forgot it. So Cole for me is definitely one of my biggest inspirations because it feels like a friend. It feels like a friend is. I'm listening to like a friend's music. And I think that's kind of what you want out of an inspiration and an artist. Maybe not all the time, but at least for me. So I can go on and on and on, talk about J. Cole. My favorite album by J. Cole is definitely Born Sinner. Born Sinner is easily my favorite. I liked a lot of the production on it. I liked a lot of the rapping. And it had a lot of really good choruses. Like on Miss America, I thought it had a good chorus. I thought Born Sinner had a really good chorus. I love the song Sparks Will Fly. Is She Gon' Pop is really good. Power Trip, obviously. I can just fucking go on and on and on about it. Land of the Snakes is arguably one of my top 5 favorite songs ever. I have a friend from home, and he, we just fucking bump that shit all the time. It's really good. I like For Your Eyes Only a lot. The storytelling in that, especially the switch where it goes from his friend's perspective to his perspective. I like that a lot. I like KOD. I remember when all these albums came out. I remember. Like I've been a fan for over 10 years now, or however long. So, yeah, I remember when these albums come out, and you're going into high school, you're going into college, you're talking to everybody about it. Yeah, it's really cool. But I can go on and on about J. Cole. My next inspiration is not going to be a musician, even though I've talked about musicians, is Larry David. And that seems like where I find my inspirations from is I try not to think about it too much because I feel like verbalizing my inspirations takes away from the feeling that I get from their work or their art, But I don't think it's so bad to verbalize something with people that absolutely inspire you. Almost like verbalizing it and putting it into words doesn't even do it justice because it's so much more than just how you can explain it. It's way more. It surpasses that, and it goes into a state of feeling, a state of confidence almost. Larry David, the reason why I love him so much, his Curb Your Enthusiasm, Seinfeld, is simple. The way he got his material from, even when it comes to his comedy, I guess his comedy isn't as good, and he's not really known for that. But I guess his humor almost comes from just everyday life, and I like that a lot. I like how simple it is. It turns our everyday lives and it makes them a little bit more meaningful. And Seinfeld, I remember when I first saw Seinfeld, my sister was playing it on the TV, and I was like, what the hell is this? Like, Seinfeld? Like, I don't even, whatever. And yeah, I literally just binged the whole thing from front to back. And there's 9 seasons or 8 seasons or 9 seasons. How the fuck do I not know this? But yeah, I love Seinfeld. I think it's hilarious, and that is definitely my biggest reason. Is just it feels so real almost. And Curb Your Enthusiasm, which I like more than Seinfeld, which I think if you're a fan of Larry David, Curb Your Enthusiasm is just the unfiltered version of Seinfeld. So it seems like he was really able to do what he wanted with that show, which is really dope. And it just it feels like you're living it. Honestly, it feels like you're living it, and that's I guess that's kind of the formula for what I get inspired of. I guess things that are real, relatable, that feel like real life. But it's not always the case. I like hearing a perspective that I don't have as well. And this is a little bit of a bridge from, I guess, talking about my inspirations. But the reason why a lot of these things inspire me, and they don't always follow that simple formula of it being relatable and feeling like, simple or real life. But it's because I get inspired by things that I can't relate to, because I like to hear a different perspective, and I can appreciate the techniques that an artist can use. And I get inspired by things that are relatable because they can see the mundane and make art out of it. That makes sense. So yeah, Larry David, I absolutely love his work, and that's one of my biggest inspirations. My next is going to be Sneeko, and yeah, that's a little bit controversial, but when you talk about videography in film and combining videography and film in a more artistic way and combine that with content, like YouTube content or something like that, he's probably the king of that. I would say he's probably the best artistic filmmaker. I mean, you could argue like Casey Neistat or somebody like that, which I also love Casey Neistat too. But that's not really my main, that's not my main inspiration for choosing this medium in order to display a piece of work. I think Sneeko, what he does really well is that his self-awareness, things that I don't even want to admit to myself, he'll admit to thousands of people. And I think that imperfection about him, that's what makes somebody feel like they can relate to them or relate to him. He also, and this is what most people say about him, maybe I don't really like him, but I can respect him, especially the old one. But no matter who, I'm going to have controversial inspirations. Every artist, your favorite artist is probably fucking on some island drinking baby's blood. Let's be real. But yeah, I see their artistic value, and despite controversy or what they've gotten themselves into, I want to take the parts of them that inspired me and I like. And maybe that's flawed, and it might be, but nevertheless, this is my video, so I'm going to fucking say whatever I want. Yeah, Sneeko. I hate that every time I say that he's one of my biggest inspirations that I kind of have to I have to say that, but it's whatever. I mean, I guess people don't understand, But yeah, I think that his art and his work offer something new, and yeah, he's known for his authenticity, but I think it's really his imperfection that makes him feel extremely relatable and makes us feel, or it made me feel extremely confident in myself, knowing that, yeah, I'm not perfect, but fuck it, gotta do it anyways. You're gonna fail. And that's probably, all these people give me confidence. I think that's the root of inspiration too. They give me confidence. J. Cole, Larry David, Sneeko, these people give me confidence. And when it comes from another inspiration other than Sneeko, I just talked about Sneeko. I love his work, and I think that a lot of his work that really resonated with me was "Fake It Till You Make It." That was a great video. I really love quality over quantity. I thought the storytelling was good in that, but I didn't think that. And all these people on this list, by the way, I've heavily analyzed their work to pick and take parts of what I like, what I don't like. But yeah, quality over quantity was really good. Fake It Till You Make It was probably my favorite video from his. I'm blanking. There's more. I didn't really. I really did like Everything Happens for a Reason. I liked Everybody's Got Something. That was a really good one. That was a really good one. But yeah, moving on. I guess my fourth like really big inspiration. I got him up on my wall right now. Is Ronaldinho Gacho. Now Ronaldinho was a soccer player from Brazil. Played at FC Barcelona. Played at PSG for a little bit. AC Milan. Mostly known for his time as Barcelona and Brazil. But the reason why I love him a lot is because he took a sport, which I guess you can debate whether it's an art form, and he made it art, And I think people love flashy players and all that, but like I think you could just tell by his demeanor that he was genuinely having fun. He's known for a smile with them big ass fucking horse teeth. Yeah, he's my biggest inspiration when it comes, because I love soccer. He's my biggest inspiration when it comes to soccer. Always trying to emulate him. And you ask any other famous player, they'll probably say Ronaldinho as well. And it's just like the impact that he was able to have on a whole sport is like crazy, like, and I think we need a little bit of that when it comes back into the sport now, of course. But yeah, no, he's just an insanely talented player. Always played with a smile, and it was just so creative to the point where it's like, were you even like it's like you would question like, are you even watching a sport anymore? I don't know, but those are like the four big ones. And I talked about Baby Keem, but other artists that I really like David Fincher when it comes to film. I like how he kind of uses dark lighting and like moody tones. I really like that cinematography. I like Seven a lot, like Fight Club, because they made you relate to the characters in a different way. It's almost as if like the characters in the movie and everything else in the movie were like the same feeling, I don't know if that makes sense, if I verbalize that very well, but yeah, it just felt like in his movies like everything has almost the same vibe. And that's like, I like Damien Chazelle too, but I guess like for filmmaking, David Fincher really is my guy. Going off of that, world building is one of the biggest things that inspire me. And now I'm gonna mention The Weeknd because I love the world building with The Weeknd, because he had, especially with After Hours, one of my favorite projects ever. After Hours with the red and the black and the shiny lights and shit. I love it a lot. Like that's easily one of my, when it comes to this medium being video, for artistic expression, something I look at all the time is music videos. Tyler the Creator and The Weeknd are some of my favorite music videos and some of my favorite artists when it comes to world building. The Weeknd I really love for that. The colors, the merch, logos, shit like that. Like, it's all about feeling, It's just like how much can you be immersed into a world, and that's what I think that a lot of really great artists are able to do. They're really able to trap you in a world. And I like to analyze the things that people do when they are trying to build a world. That's why I like different series. Like I really like Lord of the Rings because it's world building, and I think that's really dope. I think it's really really fucking cool, and I think that's like I think that's like a peak of imagination, is world building. That's I know this is not really going off of inspirations, but that's kind of like, I study advertising at school, and the reason why I like advertising is because I like almost like building worlds and campaigns and shit like that. And these are my biggest inspirations for not only my career path, but my life and any other art I like to make. I really like Pink Panthers as well. I think she has a really unique sound. It sounds nostalgic, but also futuristic at the same time. I don't know. I really been getting into her music as of recent, and yeah, I really like it. It's like poppy, but like kind of R&B. I don't know, and I know this sounds random, but like I really like her cover for Fancy That, where it's like purple and it's like red and it's got the picture frame. I don't know. There's just like a lot of shit that inspires me. A huge inspiration is Kanye West as well. Another where I gotta explain the controversy. I'm just gonna skip past that. But yeah, Kanye. I think, I don't know. I really liked. I think he did a really good job of world building with like 808s and Heartbreak. But I think that the biggest inspiration for Kanye is that it's always about his life. It's always going to be about something he's going through. It's always about a different stage in his life. And it's really difficult to separate the art from the artist when it comes to that, because it's never, you know, it means something. It's him. Whatever he's putting in or he's making, it's about him. So, yeah, these are some of just like my biggest inspirations. I know I definitely forgot something. Trying to think. Yeah, but that's it.